What is up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's Thursday Team Building Hacks Zoom. My name is Nick Couch. I'm an independent promoter with Pruvit. I want to start off by saying that any of the views or opinions expressed herein are of my own. They have not necessarily been adopted by or approved by Pruvit Ventures Incorporated. So with that being said, let's get down to business. My topic tonight is the importance of giving and receiving feedback. You're going to see me look down a lot. I got a lot of notes, a lot of good stuff for you guys. But let's think about feedback, constructive criticism, whatever you want to call it. We've all received it and we've all given it at some point or another in our life. We've possibly received some constructive criticism from a boss, from a coworker, from a teacher, from a professor, from a coach, an instructor. Somebody at some point has given you some type of constructive criticism or feedback. And I want you to think about that. Whenever you received that feedback, was it positive? Was it negative? How did it make you feel? Did it make you feel this big, or did it make you feel like empowered? Like, I want to do more. I want to be a bigger player on this team. Like, I know I got a weird shadow going on here. Let me move over a couple inches. So, think about the positivity and the negativity that comes with feedback. If you receive positive feedback, they start off, I always like to use the 80-20 rule. 20% of the constructive criticism should be corrective, and it could be taken as maybe a little bit negative, because you have to explain like what the feedback's about, and it could be something bad. But try and start off and keep it in that 80% swing of positivity. Like, hey, John, I know you're new and I know you're so fired up and excited about what we're doing. Tell them that they're doing good. Tell them the things that they're doing good, and then get into what went wrong or what the problem was or what could have been improved on. Now, it doesn't always necessarily have to be negative or bad. You can give feedback on something good that's happening. But I want to start by talking about how Pruvit handles this. And you want to go and handle it and do the feedback immediately. You don't want to do something on a Monday and get feedback on a Wednesday. It's like the paint's dry, like you're late to the party, like we're already past that. So like, for example, how Pruvit handles this, we call it the debrief. And everybody should be debriefing with their teams. So what the debrief is something that you liked, something that could have been done better, and a solution. You don't just want a bunch of negative knives being thrown. What was something we could have done better? It's not what's something we did that sucked. Something we could have done better, and the person needs to provide a solution. You don't want them just to vomit, oh, this was bad, this could have been better, this could have been. You want a solution, so it makes them think, okay, well, there were too many people in the room, or the temperature was too hot. Maybe we could work with the venue to get the temperature down in advance to cool the room off. So you see what I'm saying? You want to provide what could have been done better plus the solution, and then what your biggest takeaway was. And if you are the one that's running the debrief, you need to police the debrief, because if you open it up to give me those three things and you don't have a time limit or you don't stay on course, it will turn into tangent after tangent after tangent after tangent. So if you're in the Circle of Champion room after a Pruvit Keto Academy and More event, literally every day of the event, all of the Circle of Champions go into the Circle of Champions room and we debrief on the entire event. So a lot of that stuff, Brian Underwood, the CEO of Pruvit, he's there listening, but he's an iron fist. He's the police officer of the debrief. If you don't answer in order, if you don't answer in a timely fashion, if you don't stay on track, like people will start to say, we did this good, and then they want to explain their life story of why they like that. No. What did you like? What could we do better? The solution, your biggest takeaway. Go, 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 go. Because if you're efficient on your debrief, you can get a lot of stuff covered in a little bit of time. If you let everybody talk about their life story about the situation, you're going to be in there all night and you're going to talk to two people. So you have to be monitoring the efficiency of the response and stay on track. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to police that. I've had to do it, but you have to be on point. What's the outcome? Let's get it done. Let's stay on track. And if you let them know in advance, when we do this debrief, and you're giving your feedback on how the event or how your mixer went or how your Zoom training went. Like this Zoom right now, I see Don Caldwell. Don Caldwell is going to give me feedback on this Zoom when I'm done. So it's good because then I can say, oh, I started 2 minutes late. Next time I need to get prepared a little earlier. Oh, I could have better lighting. Whatever her feedback is, it's good because then I can take that, apply it, learn and grow. And if you're building a team, you want to do that because you don't want to just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's the definition of insanity. You're going to drive yourself crazy. Your team's not going to get better. You're not going to get better. Your mixers aren't going to get better. Your Zoom trainings aren't going to get better. You're never going to move the needle forward. And you need to take those things and apply them immediately. So like Brian Underwood, when we have the Circle of Champion debrief, we leave the debrief room that night. It could be midnight. At 8 a.m. the next day, if there was an issue with not having enough water, there will be more water stations, whatever it is. If it took too long to get the people in the room, there will be more doors open, more people securing the doors and checking to make sure the right people are coming in. They literally, like, imagine being in an event with Pruvit with 12 or 1,500 people, and literally in less than 8 hours, they implement the things that could have been done better and the solution. Like I've seen them, we didn't have enough food at one meal one time and people they waited in line and they didn't have enough food. Literally the next day there was more food than we could have possibly eaten. They literally implemented and executed the solutions. So you want to stay on track with your debriefs. I was just using the Pruvit events for those. And if you go to LCD, which my next level is what I want to talk about, LCD, Leadership Coaching Dynamics. Pruvit takes the leadership of our company very, very seriously. So we actually have a whole 3-day series. We've had 3 to date, and it's really easy for you to go to one and be like, oh, they're going to teach the same stuff. I'm not coming back. I've been to all 3 of them, and every single one was a great decision because the Nick that was at the first one isn't the Nick that's at the second one. I've grown. My team, the community of people I coach, I know we don't like to call it our team. We're all one team. We all work together. But the people that I work with, maybe we've grown. Maybe we're doing more volume. Maybe we have more meetups. Maybe my business, the team of people that I coach directly with, things have changed from the first LCD to the second LCD. I'm a different person. My group looks different. Business is different. Products are different. The company's moving 1,000,000 miles per hour. Like Pruvit, ketones are on fire. So by coming back to the next LCD, you can learn more from it because you've learned from the first one. Now you should have applied those things to the second one. And then the third one, I even had that thought where like, should I go to this third one? I've been to the first 2, but I got something different out of each and every one of those. So when you see those events, I think the last LCD sold out in 20 minutes or less. It was insane because they keep it a small group. You don't want to go to an LCD with 1,000 people. It's a really small 100, 150 people. We do role playing, and they teach you how to give this constructive criticism, this feedback, and how to receive it. So a lot of you've probably heard myself or the person you coach with say, hey, so-and-so, are you open to some coaching? You're getting permission to coach and give the feedback or give the constructive criticism. So LCD will teach you all of that. I'm not going to get into those trainings because you should just go to LCD and get it yourself, or coach with your coach that has been to LCD. That's not the topic tonight. But I have a couple of different things I want to run through here. And let's think about constructive criticism. The first word, constructive. What's construct mean? Construction means to build something. So it's called constructive because it's about the act of building something together. You're building a team who's going to build a team, who's going to build a team, who's going to build a team, who's going to build a team. You're teaching people to build the team. You build the team, they build the team, they build the team. You all work together. You have one giant team. Do you think that team is going to be better if you guys are building it together or if you're tearing it down? So that was what I was saying. It's the act of building something together, not tearing something down. So if you come in to give feedback to your team and it's super negative and you're screaming and you're yelling and your veins are bulging out of your head, That's not going to motivate anybody to stick around or try and build the team together. It's going to make them want to run away from the team. It's going to scare the crap out of them. So staying positive is huge. Next on my list is create a structure for providing the feedback. So you can have, hey guys, every time we have our weekly Zoom, as soon as it's over, if everybody could give me the feedback, have a way that you do that. Maybe it's in a comment in your Facebook group for your group. Maybe it's in a messenger thread. Maybe you have the leaders of your team, your circle of champions. Maybe they're the ones giving the feedback. Have a system in place for the feedback. So you have to chase everybody down every time. They give you the feedback immediately. You can implement it immediately, and you can execute and move on to the next goal. And you keep getting better and better and better and better and better. It's like laying bricks, construction, building something. It's like bricks. You lay one brick at a time. You build a strong foundation. You can build a skyscraper. You construct it. You build it. It's a team. You can build a really, really big team with a weak foundation that's going to collapse. And think about it. If your house was on a weak foundation, how good's it going to do? If a skyscraper that's 120 stories tall is on a weak foundation, how do you think that skyscraper is going to hold up in a windstorm? So make sure you have a structure for providing the feedback so you can build a strong team. Then the next thing I want to have is spell it out in thoughtful statements. I have here replace but with the word and. So if you say that's a great idea, but your team is going to immediately hinge on the all-important but and suspect that your praise is just a prologue to bad news. Rephrasing with a statement like, the part of what you did looks great and we should ... insert there. It's more effective because it includes solutions without criticizing and putting down your team members. So replace the word but with and. Use the magic phrase. Okay, so it's not actually magic per se, but it does create an instantaneous sense of belonging and connection for your team. The phrase is, I'm giving you these comments because I have high expectations and I know that you can reach them. In one fell swoop, you telegraph that you believe in your team and that they are a special group capable of delivering exceptional results. I'm giving you these comments because I have very high expectations and I know you can reach them. Does that sound positive or does that sound negative? Does that sound uplifting? Like if I said that to you, would you want to go execute on that? Or would you be like, oh, that Nick guy's a jerk? And then build your feedback with these 3 steps. Describe the I have it written as behavior. Describe the activity or the behavior or what happened. Be specific as possible. Describe the impact of the behavior or the activity, focusing on the most significant impacts, and then share what you would like to change or continue in the future, thus providing a path to success. Make the feedback a team effort. If you truly want your team to function as one, feedback cannot all be from the top down. Consider yourself the moderator of feedback settings, but not the only one voice meant to speak about it. Be open and transparent about your expectations and create situations where your team can be one metacognition, i.e. critical thinking about their own attitude, performance within the task. So if they're giving feedback, they're thinking about themselves also. Encourage an environment where all the team members recognize giving and receiving feedback as part of their leadership roles. Just wrap big project. Sit down to debrief. It's also important to know your team as you weigh feedback. Overall, novice members of the team crave positive feedback that affirms them as their new roles in the team. Most experienced team members are ready for the criticism as long as it empowers them to make a strategic change in the future. And then takeaways. When it's really working well, feedback becomes a vote of confidence from you to your team. Whether you point out improvements or what you want to see, or simply say, thanks for a great month, your conscious statements reinforce work bonds. Teams are interconnected groups of people, after all, much like the nervous system. They work best when communication is clear, fast, and aimed towards the larger purpose. That's it for that series of notes that I had together. And then, where's my first? So your feedback should be about the behavior or the activity or the action, not necessarily the person's personality. The first and probably most important rule of feedback is to remember that you are making no comment of what type of person they are or what you believe or value. You are only commenting on how they behave or act, the action or the activity. Don't be tempted to discuss aspects of personality, intelligence, or anything else. Like if you start off by saying like, hey, so-and-so, that was really stupid. That's not going to be very good. You want to focus on the activity, the action, the behavior. Feedback should be described to affect the person's behavior on you. After all, you do not know the effect on anyone or anything else. You only know how it made you feel or what you thought. Presenting feedback as your opinion makes it much easier for the recipient to hear and accept it. Even if you're giving negative feedback, after all, they have no control on how you felt any more than you have control over their intention. The approach is a blame-free one, which is therefore much more acceptable. Feedback should be specific, very, very specific, especially when things are not going well. We all know that it's tempting to start from the point of view of everything you do is rubbish, but don't. Think about specific occasions, specific behavior, and point out exactly what the person did and exactly how it made you feel. The more specific, the better, as it's much easier to hear about a specific occasion than about all the time. I already mentioned this. Make sure your feedback is timely. Some of these notes overlap. There are times people are feeling open to feedback and times they aren't. Have a look at your emotional awareness and work on the social awareness to help develop the awareness of the emotions and feelings of others. So if you build this as a regular ongoing thing in your team trainings, your groups, that, hey, we did this, this is the feedback, let's apply this to make it better. If you're constantly doing that, there's not going to be any negative connotation. They're not going to take it as offensive or, wow, Nick was really being a jerk when he talked to us about that meeting. Like when we go into the COC room, whether it's good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whether it's positive or negative, we all leave there that we have things to improve on. We go apply it and we execute. So the big things for the takeaway of this is stay positive. I don't have my note in front of me. Stay positive. Spell it out in thoughtful statements. Remember, replace the but with and. Make the feedback a team effort. Execute consistency. And do it in a timely manner. That is all I have for you guys. Literally, this is a pretty big topic. We could talk about feedback for a long time. I mean, it can go much deeper. Maybe we'll do a part 2 of feedback. But think about the group of people you're working and coaching with, how you give feedback and how you receive feedback. Do you handle it well whenever the feedback's coming to the top? How do you handle it when it's coming from the top down? We're all in different roles and we play different roles in the team, but it takes the whole team to move forward. So I hope you guys got something good out of that. I hope to see some of you guys at the next LCD once that's announced. You'll learn a lot more of this there. And other than that, everybody have a wonderful Thursday evening. We'll see you in about 8 minutes on the Champ Success Profile, where Mr. Joshua James Nelson will be interviewing myself, Nicholas Couch, and my journey to success with Pruvit. I'm looking forward to that chat here in about 8 minutes. Everybody jump on over to the Facebook page, share the post if you haven't shared it, and we'll see you then.